as you rightly said, there's a Champions Trophy coming. I know India did not have a great series of Australia, but if you look at the last two World Cups, the T20 World Cup, India won it unbeaten, and the 50 over World Cup, India lost the final. So if you look at India's performance in the last two World Cups, they've just lost one game in almost about 20 of them. So I think it's a phenomenal one-day team. It's a phenomenal white ball team, and for me, they will be the favourites in the Champions Trophy. And in terms of social media, that's why you're a professional. You have to find a way to stay out of it. I know many of them keep away from it. They don't watch social media because at the end of the day, it's what matters is the 15 or the 20 you're with. Jhulan and Mithali both have played World Cup finals. I remember Jhulan and Mithali's World Cup final at Lord's when India lost to England. And I remember both of them, as I said, both are stalwarts of Indian women's cricket. Today, what Indian women's cricket is because of them, and there are many more. And there are many more. You've got Smriti at the moment, Harmanpreet. There have been some fantastic players of the yesteryears. There is Gargi, there is Meethu, there is Lopa, there is Shormila, there is Bias. Many of our own girls, who've represented the country. Some play 100 games, some don't play 100 games. But the impact of all of them remain. You've got Arun Lalia. His impact on me was phenomenal. You've got Pranab Roy here, you've got Sambaran here. Madhuda did not play for India, but he was my first Ranji Trophy captain. So various people have various, influence on your career. And as you said, the Champions Trophy is coming. This is going to be a very important 5-match T20 series for India. And India will do well. There's so much talent. There's so much talent in the men's department. There's so much talent in the women's department. You see how the girls are playing. And I just want to say one small thing. When I first became BCCI president in 2019, what I saw women's cricket and what I see women's cricket in 6 years down the line in 2025, and both Mithali and Jhulan will agree, it's improved enormously. We used to talk about Australia, we used to talk about England, we used to talk about Meg Lanning, we used to talk about, the New Zealand girls, we used to talk about the English girls, Heather Knight, and some of the legends who've played the game. But now, you look around world cricket, people will talk about Mithali Raj, people will talk about Jhulan, people talk about Smriti, people talk about Harmanpreet, our very own Richa. When he sits down and hits the ball over covers, you just see there's no effort in it. Although people tell me she doesn't train enough, but if she doesn't train enough and still hits such big sixes, it's phenomenal. So that's where women's cricket has gone. And for all the Bengal boys here sitting, I heard Pata say a few words. I must say the women's are outplaying the men's at the moment because the women's win. So the under 15s win. At the moment they're outplaying the boys in Bengal. So there is a competition there.
In India?
See, Virat Kohli is a once in a lifetime cricketer. Like Jhulan is, like Mithali is. And I think Virat Kohli for the men's cricket is once in a lifetime player. To score 80 international hundreds in a career is something unbelievable. For me, he's probably the greatest white ball player the world has seen. But I was really surprised the way he batted in Australia after getting 100 in Perth. He struggled before that here, but I thought after the 100 in Perth, it'll be a big series for him. But I think it happens. Every player has his weakness and strength. There's no player in the world who will not have that. It's how you adapt your weaknesses as you play great bowlers over a period of time. Your second part of the question, I still feel there's a lot of cricket left in Virat Kohli, and the tour of England will be a big challenge for him. I'm not too worried about his form in the Champions Trophy because, as I said, he's probably the best white ball player the world has seen for a long period of time. And he will score runs in this tournament in Indian conditions, and I think India is one of the contenders for the Champions Trophy, especially after the performances in the 50 overs and the T20 World Cup. But Test cricket is something they'll have to work on, especially when they go away from home. Rohit Sharma in white ball cricket is phenomenal, and you will see a different Rohit Sharma once the Champions Trophy starts. And as I said, they will be one of the contenders for the tournament. But come the red ball and come the seaming, swinging pitches, they'll have to bat a bit better than what they have done. I've always said that if you score 350 to 400 runs on first innings of Test matches away from home, you get yourself in a position to win test matches. If you're getting out for less than 200, then you're always fighting from behind. And the reason they won in Perth is because they got 400 or 500 runs on the board, second innings. So that's what the game is all about. The bowlers win you matches, especially when you have someone like Bumrah. Mohammad Shami is fit. I'm so happy to see him fit because I think he is probably the best after Bumrah in the country.
Do you want to see Shami in red ball cricket?
Yeah, absolutely. Why not? And as I said, he's as good as anybody in the world. So Shami and Bumrah bowling at two ends is different than Bumrah bowling from one end. So as much as Shami is important for Bumrah, Bumrah is important for Shami because they keep pressure on both ends in Test cricket where you have to bowl 20-25 overs. I wish Mohammad keeps fit. And it was good to see him. He's looking slim and fit and strong. I know he'll be a bit nervous because he's playing cricket after a long time, especially with a knee injury. But the good thing is that he bowled a lot for Bengal in the domestic cricket, which is going to help him in the games to come. And as I said, India will be a contender for this tournament. Come England in July, they'll have to really work hard to play well there because the conditions are different.
Okay, last